Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. Today is Tuesday, December 8th, and it is currently 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, Marie and I, and she is with us today, go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every day, Monday through Friday. And today's subject matter is going to be a good one. Working with porcupines. It's episode number 91, Working with Porcupines. If you don't know what that means and you don't understand how to work with them, you will want to join us live to learn what we're talking about, how it affects you, and how to overcome these porcupines. That being said, you can find us. We go live on our Facebook page. We stream live to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And you can find us on those platforms by utilizing hashtag TheMLM Solution, hashtag TheMLM Solution. Please share that with our fellow network marketers all across the globe so they too can have access to this great information. With that being said, we will be back in just a few seconds.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
I am doing well, Rob. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. Need a haircut. And we have not had time. We've been running our butts off. And
I was going to say, you're starting to look a little shaggy over there.
Yeah, I am. There is no doubt about it. I told the wife, she does my hair. She should. It's amazing what the woman can do. And she cuts hair like a pro. I haven't been to a hairdresser since we've been together, which is 15 years. Hairdresser, I don't mean that. But, getting my hair cut someplace else in 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she does.
I thought maybe you'd just take one of those Flobies to it. You remember those things?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah, you're right. And I am so grateful. If she didn't do a good job, I certainly wouldn't let her cut my hair. But she's been going in one direction. I've been going in another. And it has been a challenge trying to get together. And you would think a half hour would be easy. But since I was gone for 4 days, it put me behind. I did. You know what? I got a hotspot. For the first time. I was always leery about hotspots, and I'm with Cricket. I was with AT&T for years and went to Cricket. Our total bill per month is $80 a month, unlimited text, unlimited talk, blah, blah, blah. And it's Cricket is owned by AT&T. So we have the same towers, the same service. I had more problems with AT&T, which I have nothing bad to say about AT&T other than saying, thank God I'm gone. But we had our Uverse internet, our Uverse TV, and our cell phones, over $600 a month for all of those. Got rid of all of that. Now I do streaming on Hulu for $49.95 a month. Our cell phone bill is $80 a month. And our internet, I think, is $49 a month. So we're paying $150 where we paid $600 and some dollars before. Now tell me, and I had to pay $2,000 to get out of the contract with AT&T, but boy, it was the best thing I ever did. I had constant challenges with AT&T, mostly billing and billing cycles. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but oh my gosh. And I've not had one issue with Cricket, not one. So I got a hotspot for $10 extra a month because it's $80 for the wife and I both. For 2 lines, $40 a month, which includes cell phone insurance. I mean, you can't beat that, So anyway, long story short, hotspot for $10 a month gives her 15 gigabyte and me. When I was down at my daughter's, they have no internet. They're so far out that when they asked for internet, all they got was laughter at the other end. Because the companies are like, no, we are not taking internet service out there. Nobody goes out there. So I got the hotspot and man, it worked great. Easy to set up and fast. And I only use 2 gigabyte of my 15 gigabyte. So you can't beat
there you
that.
go.
Yeah. And I thought, well, this is a great chance. 4 days down there, no interruptions. I can get a lot of stuff done. I told you all the crap, all the animals I had to keep up with, and oh my gosh.
So much for a bunch of peace and quiet for yourself, huh?
And getting things done. I was really looking forward to guys like, you know. No. Took my Bible and other things down there to read and study. Yeah. I was going to bed, Miss Marie, I kid you not, at 8 o'clock. I was so wore out. And then the dogs would come up and lick me on the face. Got to go potty. I'm like, oh. So.
Well, that's why you got to keep those farmers hours up at the crack of dawn, sunsets. You might as well go to bed, right?
Oh, my gosh. And then I was waking up at 2 in the morning and working, through the day because I couldn't go back to sleep. So I was all discombobulated. But the thing is, I didn't get done what I wanted to. So I get back here and guess what? I'm behind and I'm scrambling to catch up. So much for the best laid plans, right?
Yep. and therein lies the struggle with getting that haircut scheduled.
Yeah, there it is right there. But I thought I'd share the hotspot in case you ever thought about getting one. Don't hesitate. It is absolutely great.
Awesome. Yeah, the technology we have available nowadays, it's wonderful. I rarely find myself in a situation where I don't have internet access, so I haven't really had a need for it yet, but I'm sure it will come at some point.
Well, you're a prime example of the elitist rich people that never have a want for anything.
I am spoiled. I'll admit to that.
But there's a difference between being spoiled and being elitist and snobbish. And I'll tell you, if somebody wants to insult me, call me rich, call me elitist. That would really piss me off. So, okay, enough of all that. We're only 5 minutes in. We got plenty of time. Today's subject, as you guys can see, is podcast 91. We're quickly closing in on 100. Episode 100 will be next week. Hard to believe, but here we are. And we're talking about working with porcupines. And no, we're not talking about the physical animal porcupine, which would be a challenge into itself. But the thing is, we're talking about people that can be as prickly as a porcupine. Miss Marie, won't you set up what we're talking about in this episode and why people want to stick around and listen?
Well, absolutely. And it's funny that you say, we're not talking about signing up a porcupine into your business, but I know people that are desperate enough. If they could get a porcupine to sign on the dotted line, they'd probably do it, right? Yeah. Gotta build your organization somehow. But no, what we're talking about with porcupines is, if you think about it, you think about the porcupine animal, the quills there. Have you ever seen anyone hug a porcupine? Well, of course not, because you get hurt in the process because of all those sharp quills they have, and those buggers hurt, man. If you've ever been hit by one of those, which fortunately I have not, but I've seen a couple dogs get nailed by a porcupine, and that is no fun. So,
I can imagine.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I've never. Yeah.
Well, and here's the tricky bit: the dogs that I've seen, those porcupine quills. It's not so bad. It's not even terrible that it goes in, but it's hard to get them out because they've got like a little hooked barb on the end of them. So it kind of tears as it comes out too. It's not like a straight needle that just slides in and out. So those things can certainly do some damage. So what we're talking about here in terms of working with porcupines is working with those people who have those prickly personalities. They're not the warm, fuzzy types. They can be a little bit off-putting. In some circles, we refer to them as EGR people, extra grace required, because for whatever reason, they're just a little bit prickly, rub you the wrong way, and you don't want to get too close to them, because when you do, you get hurt. And when we're talking about working with these people in your business, they can be difficult to work with because they're abrasive, hurtful, abrupt, whatever it happens to be. And here's the thing to understand too. The person I consider to be a porcupine, difficult to work with, prickly, may be totally different than a person that Rob considers to be a porcupine. his porcupines may be people I enjoy working with because I understand them and am able to work with them. So let me give you an example, and this isn't from a network marketing aspect so much as it was my corporate career, but I've had it bleed over into the network marketing arena as well. Is you get those people who are super technical. I consider them the nerds. You know, they like to talk in bits and bytes and get into all of the details. And they're just super nerdy, and they're not particularly social unless you hit on that particular topic that they're really intrigued by, and then you can't shut them up, right? So they want to dive deep on whatever that topic is. But if you can find that way of communicating with the individual, interacting with them, they become a little less prickly. Right? So depending on what their experience has been, they could be prickly just because of the topic that you are on. And you'll encounter this sometimes when you're prospecting, recruiting, your initial interactions with people. You can hit more seeming porcupines that exist out there, and they're truly not. It's just they've had a bad experience in the network marketing industry, or they have the wrong perception about it being a scam, and they will come across as abrupt, abrasive, prickly. It's almost that, they're from the state of Missouri, the show me state, right? Well, show me that this is valid. Explain to me how this actually works. But once you get into a conversation with them and they become a little bit more comfortable with the concept and the understanding of how the business works, that abrasiveness can go away. So sometimes it's an initial reaction that may not be specifically true of the person, and other people it's just kind of their personality. And Rob, as you know, I mean, you encounter people, you and I, we're pretty good at talking with anybody and everybody at just about any time. But there are those people you have a bit of a personality conflict. Your personalities don't mesh for whatever reason. And it's not that they're a bad person or you're a bad person. It's just, you knock heads a little bit. So, porcupines show up in all different aspects. And I'll be honest with you, most of them you weed out in that prospecting recruiting process. Yeah. Because as we've talked about in former episodes, if there are people you don't like, you don't get along with, you don't necessarily want to sign them up into your business, because why would you want to work with them on an ongoing basis, right? That's right. But those people that come into your business, you do just need to find a way to work with them. And how do people, like in the zoos and, animal trappers and those things, well, how do they deal with the porcupines? They put on the protective gloves so they don't get nailed by those quills, right? And it's the same thing here. You find that protective covering, that aspect and way of working with them so they're not quite so prickly. And sometimes it's just, not having as sensitive an attitude yourself. Just realize that's their personality. They're not critiquing you. It's nothing interpersonal. It's just the way they are. You do business with them and you move on. Yeah. We can only spend so much time focusing on the difficult people in our business. But you'll be surprised. Some of those folks will do a wonderful business for you as well once they get into the swing of things. So you can't always judge people by that first interaction. From my perspective, I'm usually pretty good at telling that initial interaction. I can tell how I'm going to be able to work with a person, but sometimes you have to allow for that adjustment. So Rob, I'm sure you've had similar experiences. Oh my gosh,
when you're dealing with people, there is no doubt that what you're talking about, I would say that most people can relate to. Most people are like, oh yeah, I've dealt with somebody like that. And it's unfortunate that we have to admit that those people exist in this business model. And you're right. What you do, you're right on a number, as usual, on a number of things. I handle it, I'm sure, much differently than you do. But at the same time, like you said, very few get past me in the initial scale of ambition phase. as we talked about, you got to realize, guys, we always say this, it'll always be this, and that is, this is a weeding out process. The message, the music to the ears message, it's a scale of ambition is to help you weed out those that are shaky, that you don't get along with. You think there's going to be a conflict, because you don't have time for that. That's not what this business is about. It's about cohesiveness. It's about harmony. It's about everybody having the same goals. And it's not, you're not trying to have a cookie cutter. When you have human beings, you're going to have, we know all of our fingerprints are different. Snowflakes are different. Well, guess what? People are going to be different. You can have the similar traits, all of you, all of your leaders, but you're uniquely different as human beings, as individuals. So even though you're quote unquote doing a cookie cutter process, and that is using the scale of ambition, the music to the ears, to sift out those that are not serious versus those that have a realistic outlook on this business opportunity, or a realistic desire is probably a better way to put it, on doing something with this business model. That is what you're looking for. It's the reason why you use the scale of ambition. It's the reason why you take notes on the scale of ambition package. And it's a reason why you use the music to the ears message, because it pushes away on purpose the people you don't want. When you fill out the form, this scale of ambition form, after your initial meeting, you put down notes. I really don't think I'm going to get along with this person. You're not being mean. You're not being elitist. You're not doing any of that. You're being honest about evaluating the situation. And if it's readily apparent that you are not going to get along with this personality or with this person for whatever reason, or if you realize they're a motor mouth, or you realize they're a person that is, well, especially Miss Marie, you know this, one of the telltale signs. What's the ingredients? Who's running the company? Where did they come from? Question after question after question. During the initial meeting, you know right away in the scale of ambition, that person's a 6 at max, and you put down ask too many questions would be a pain in the butt. Why? That's what we call PETA people. And so the thing is that rarely becomes apparent. Well, why would you sponsor someone like that? You don't. Okay. And even if you get desperate, because if you do, you're inviting not potential, you are inviting problems and chaos into your downline. So what we're talking about here is that if they get past that scale of ambition process and you actually sponsor them, and then they become prickly, that's where Marie handles those type of people one way, and I handle those people in a different way. Okay. And as I tell you guys, my philosophy is they already have one strike against them, and that's everybody, no matter who they are. And what I'm saying is I don't have time. As we said before, look, it's you can say to yourself, if you have a bad interaction with someone, you can say, well, you know what, there could have been any number of reasons not get off on the right step, or they said that, or they did that. You can give them the benefit of the doubt. There's nothing wrong with that. That's human nature. We should be forgiving. We should say, okay, maybe that was a mistake. We should use communication to clarify what they said or what they did, so that we get back to square one and everybody's on the same page. But if they do it again, in my book, that's the second strike, done and over, because we had a discussion. Why did you do that? They gave me a reason, and then they turned around and did it again. That is blatant disregard for the business building system, disregard for me, disrespect to me. And especially after we talked about it, they're saying, hey, I don't give a crap who you are. I don't care what you say. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's fine. But that doesn't mean that I have to put up with it. So I cut them out. Those are prickly people. When they tell you, especially when you put a request out, hey, let's get on a Zoom call, Skype call, let's get on the phone, whatever, and let's talk. And then you ask, hey, why did you do this? What happened? You know, what are the circumstances? And then they lie to you and turn around and do it a week later. They disqualified themselves. I did not disqualify them. I did what I was supposed to do. I was proactive. I tried to get us back to square one. And when I did, they turned around and did it again. That is on them, not me. I'm not going to feel guilty. They disqualified themselves. They get no more of my attention. Miss Marie, even if they call me, because they've shown me their true nature. Well, Rob, what if they change? Well, good luck. They can go to another company and they can change there. But if they call me, I will talk to them. I say, look, I gave you a second chance. And I've told you, because Miss Marie, I tell them about my policy. One strikes against you right now, I get 2 more, and then I'm done. Because Miss Marie, once again, if I give in, what does that do? It duplicates throughout. Somebody, when we all get around and they hear the rumors and they hear that I cut that person off, and rightfully so, and they all agree, yes, Rob did the right thing. That's what you're supposed to do. And then I turn around and let them back in, and we're at a meeting, a regional meeting, a corporate meeting, and there they are. And they find out that Rob went beyond and broke his policy because of this one person, especially if it's an attractive female. Miss Marie, that is tough. You will not overcome that. And the reason I bring up the attractive female, we all know how people think, especially if a person, you could be an attractive male, it could be a female, that, you know what I'm saying? People immediately start saying, well, it's because he or she is pretty, right? And it's not always fair, but we all know how that is. You can have a great female friend and people will swear up and down you're having an affair. I have many female friends that I've never, ever had any kind of romantic interest in. Okay. And it would really piss me off. And I never addressed it because, the truth comes out, right? But I only bring that up because it happens in network marketing because it's such a small field and rumors can start so quick. So if you let them back in after the the third strike, really, but number two for me, Miss Marie, that undermines my credibility. It undermines my system and my downline. That other people get pissed off because that's not how they were treated. And especially if they're an attractive person, guess what they're going to say?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be careful. It's good to have standards set ahead of time that are going to apply across the board, that are objective, that you can always refer back to and point to and go, this is the way I treat everybody. This is, kind of the rules I live by, the rules I do business by, however you want to phrase that. So absolutely. Having those things predetermined is always helpful, for sure.
But you got to stick with it. It means nothing if you have to predetermine. And some of the toughest decisions I've had to make in the corporate world, as well as my personal life, is sticking to the standards that I said that I stood by. And boy, it's tough sometimes, due to circumstances and people, especially if it's a good friend. But you're not always telling them, look, you put me in this position. I did not, because I would put them on the spot. Did you not do this? Yes, I did. Well, then what do you expect me to do? You know what my policy is. I can't do it. And you know why? Yes, I understand. And there again, communication was key. I communicated even though it was difficult for both of us. I didn't rub it in their face, but I did bring to light that it was them that put us in this situation where I had to make that decision. And they, without fail, people got it. Hey, real quick, before we go any further, guys, remember, I want to let you guys know all this great information that we're talking about right now is available at this URL address. I'm having a hard time today. Don't know why. TheMLMsolution.net/Super Friday. That's TheMLMsolution.net/Super Friday. We are talking about subjects right now that you can get in this package. As you know, we're running a Black Friday special till the end of the year. It is a limited offer. Once you go there, please do not hesitate. Go there, get yours while you can. It is the Super Pack. It is the 5 Simple Steps Super Pack business building system, specifically designed for people that are new to the industry, that are looking at the industry, or somebody that is a retread, meaning they were in before, they came back, or maybe you're stuck in your business, you have no guidance, no help. Guess what? This right now, regularly $99.95, is on sale for a mere $49.95. Get it while you can, and realize the embarrassment of riches this brings to you. You have 9 ebooks all combined together in that Super Pack package. And each one of those have a video and an audio that goes with it. Then you add in the bonuses, which includes what not to do in network marketing, which itself has 146 audio files. And also the book itself has 146 of the most revealing, controversial, and empowering paragraphs you'll ever run into. It is a combo package that you will not find anyplace else. Do not let that pass you by. It is a great thing for you to take advantage of. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this. This is the 4 critical mistakes and the 5 simple steps to networking success. that is available right now on our website. There it is, TheMLMsolution.net. Each one of those, the 4 critical mistakes and the 5 simple steps, they complement one another. Unlike any other package we offer, you're going to learn the 4 critical mistakes that most networkers make, and how to overcome them, and how really to avoid them altogether if possible. But also, just as equally important is the 5 simple steps. You will know the exact steps that you need to take in order to make this business go. And Zero to Networking Hero brings it all together. Each one of those are free, and each one of those packages come with a video and audio. Do not miss out on that. Okay, Miss Marie, with that being said, we can get back to we're back from our commercial, and we can get back to the subject here at hand. So, some of the main thing is, if you have a policy, stick with it when you run into a prickly person. Look, prickly people are going to have a personality issue. Prickly people are going to bring issues up all the time. Miss Marie, you ever been around somebody that, and I'm using this as an example, they always tripped over something. They were always in chaos. Their life was always in chaos. If they would go from one problem to another, guys, that's a prickly person. Someone that's constantly with a needle going dink, dink, and they're poking you, and you're like, ooh, that hurts. Okay, or that gets your attention. Well, that's what a prickly person does in network marketing. You constantly hear them over here. You're trying to build your business, and all of a sudden you hear that familiar voice, and it's another complaint, or hey, I've got a problem, or hey, I got a question, or you find out they did something they weren't supposed to do. It's never ending. It never stops. And then they add their prickly personality on top of it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is driving me nuts, and you have to make a choice, Miss Marie, a tough one. You can cut those people out of your business, people. You do not have to answer the calls, the emails. You can send an email saying, I'm done. I'm sorry. You need to find somebody else. You're taking too much of my time. You have too many questions. You can be honest and sincere in a nice way, a firm but nice way, and say, I have to get back to what makes this business go, and that is working. And sometimes tough love, Miss Marie, will put them back on track themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to say, we're in a year that's been really interesting. I mean, obviously 2020 across the globe, with the virus going on and people being caught up in varying levels of lockdowns depending on where you are, I think it's created some prickliness in people that isn't necessarily there on a regular basis, because you've created a whole level of distress in people's lives, right? All of a sudden, you're forced to work from home if you're fortunate enough to have that option. Many people have lost their jobs or have had their hours drastically reduced. They find themselves in a financial struggling position. Mm-hmm. People with kids are constantly in this fight of, well, are they going to school in person? Are they working online? It can change almost overnight depending on how positive test cases are showing up within a school or a school district. So there's this constant, almost external prickliness going on in everybody's lives. And of course, people all react to that differently. Mm-hmm. But I have found as a whole, people they're a little bit more touchy. They're a little bit more leery. I think everybody's kind of gotten a bit more prickly just because of the external circumstances and discomfort. And then in the United States, you throw in our political nonsense that's been going on, an unresolved election. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of craziness going on. And I would say yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I would say for those of you that are seeing that crop up in your business, if you have people, being a little bit more touchy, a little bit more short-tempered than normal, obviously you have to have that understanding of where it's coming from. But at the same time, from a business perspective, help them understand that at least with this business, this is an area of their life where they can exercise control, right? They can expend some effort. There are people looking for options now like they've never been before, because again, People stuck at home. Well, it's the perfect work from home business, right? You don't have to go into an office. People are looking for a way to generate income. As we've talked about in previous episodes, this is not like a job. You don't immediately get paid for the time you're putting in, but the income potential as you put forth effort is much greater and much better than almost any other job you could possibly have, as long as you apply consistent and correct business building activities. So you can use this business model to help people get out of that prickliness, help them regain a sense of control, help them solve some of the issues that they have occurring that have absolutely nothing to do with them. I mean, they've talked about, I've heard people say, you know, we're all in the same boat. And it's like, well, that's not really true. We're all in the same storm, but we all have different boats that we're on in that storm. And in my opinion, those of us who have the network marketing businesses, who have been building, who understand how to do it correctly and have that to offer to others, we have a much better and more stable boat than most people do. And it's something we can offer and invite them to join us in and take back that control and help their situation.
Right. Exactly. And Miss Marie, I want to say this too. Guys, a lot of people are going to use the virus and the political environment, the uncertainty that the world is in at this particular moment, as an excuse not to do the business, not to join, not to take action if they are part of your business already. And this is a little bit of a side note, but it is related to what the topic we're discussing today, because here's the thing. Prickly people can be disguised, unfortunately, in today's environment as people that are, because a lot of people want security, especially women. They don't like uncertainty. And I get that. And we got to respect that, because these are unusual circumstances. Now, what I'm saying is these people aren't prickly per se. They may fall in your mind in a prickly category because they're using this as an excuse. But there are people genuinely scared, which just blows my mind. We have a family member right now that is doing things and saying things, to be honest with you, that has caught everyone off guard. We're just like, well, who is this person? Where is this person coming from? And we never thought that they would have these kind of viewpoints and comments. Okay. We really don't understand it. So let's say that this family member was in our business. You can't push a person like that, Miss Marie. You have to accept them for where they are, and they are making prickly comments and they are doing prickly things, but then not in a negative way. In other words, a prickly person, guys, to clarify, somebody, hey, Miss Marie, what ingredient is in this? Oh, okay, thank you. And then a day later, Miss Marie, I meant to ask you about this other ingredient too. Oh, okay, thank you. And then another, Miss Marie, what about the comp plan right here on level 3? What does that mean? I mean, just constant, just poking. Well, that's not this person here. They're overwhelmed by the virus, by the political environment, and that's a totally different type of situation. That is not a prickly thing. And you can't push the people that are frozen in their tracks because of the political unrest and the virus thing, which we could go into, but we're not going to. Would you not agree, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are aspects where you can help people, and there are aspects where you just need to let them be.
There it is.
And just kind of walk away.
There it is. There it is. And what do? You love them and leave them. We tell you that all the time. Love them and leave them, and just say, hey, I'm here for you whenever you're ready. And guys, move on. Because as we have told you many times, which is so true, and Miss Marie, you know this inherently because of the pro status that you have, but also you may have been there yourself. You will miss out on a superstar because you're stuck on a stud. I mean, a dud, not a stud. Dang, I don't know. I'm having a hard time talking today, and I don't know why.
You're looking for the stud, not the dud.
There you go. Studs instead of duds. That would make a great title for a show, wouldn't it?
It could happen. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Studs instead of duds. But guys, that's what you do not want to do. You do not want to waste your time on someone that is frozen in their tracks regardless of the reason, because it's not going to work in your favor. I can promise you. Okay. So with that being said, Miss Marie, is there any other things that you feel qualify someone? Because we really don't need to beat this to death. It's very simple and straightforward subject matter. And it really is as simple as it's someone. Now, we're not talking about a pain in the ass person. A pain in the ass person means they are constantly doing things wrong. They're a constant challenge. You're constantly having to monitor them, to discipline them. That's a pain in the ass person. They have a terrible attitude. They're out there willy-nilly just causing all kinds of chaos. That's a pain in the ass person that you have to deal with and you have to get rid of real quick. A prickly person is totally different, right, Miss Marie?
Well, yeah, and a prickly person, that's more a fundamental personality. And sometimes people don't even realize they come across as prickly because it hasn't been mentioned to them before. And especially, in this time, people whose personalities, like you spoke of that, family members, like all of a sudden they're making comments and acting in ways you never thought they would before. It's like, well, something probably precipitated that. They may not even realize they've made that shift until somebody points it out and goes, hey, you've never made these types of comments before, or you've never acted this way before. What's changed? What's happened? Sometimes the simple act of pointing it out to someone helps them get back on track or realize, or at least make an adjustment that's going to be much more productive for them than continuing on the path that they may be on.
I know. Well said. Well put. And, I agree with you 100%. And guys, once again, it's not, there is a difference between a prickly person who's constantly picking at you with they have a wonderful attitude. They may have a wonderful personality. They may be doing a little bit here, a little bit there, but they just constantly prick you with those little questions or a problem here and there, versus a person who's just being an ass, a PETA, as we call them. And totally different. So don't get those two mixed up. You need to handle them differently, right, Miss Marie? They deserve to be handled differently because they're not in the same category.
Well, exactly. And I mean, you always want to handle everyone with respect.
Yes.
But some people you just need to be more blunt with than others. And sometimes, and here's the thing, it's one of those things that's probably easier said than done. When we talk about the love them and leave them, or just walk away and let them be. And that's really difficult for a lot of people, especially women, because we tend to be the encouraging, nurturing, whatever. You want to help people. You want to help them be better. Some people just don't want to be helped. And to get to the point where you recognize that and give yourself permission to walk away from them without any guilt can be a big deal. But that is something you need to do. And if you need the permission, Rob and I right now are giving you permission to walk away from those people and focus on the folks in your business who are actually putting in a genuine effort, that are following the consistent and correct business building activities. And for yourself, you need to continue focusing on your business building. You can't lose your time and have that turn into a big time suck trying to, quote unquote, save someone else. They just may not want to be saved.
There it is. And guys, you can't go like this. Hopefully that works. You can't go. Okay. And that means you're focused on what you're doing. It's 5 simple steps. And all of a sudden somebody becomes a challenge. I'm talking to you women out there, because you have this natural nurturing nature about you. Okay. And women typically want to fix things, and so they want to make things right. And they have this innate ability to see that in other people. In other words, the need to be fixed. Okay. And so they would focus on their business building activity. All of a sudden they go, and they start going over here where the person is that needs the help. What did you do? You took your eyes off of the goals. You were on the straight path, and all of a sudden you veered off. You can't do that. She's right. You've got to learn to say, okay, they're an adult. You know what? They have a responsibility to themselves and their future. You know what? We told them from day one that this is their business. Okay. And I know they're facing challenges, because look, there is no doubt that you're going to run into women, and maybe some men, that are in a tough relationship, could be a really bad relationship. There's nothing wrong with you being there for them, but you have to do that off duty. I'm going to use that term. You have to stay focused. If you're giving your business 8 hours, 8 hours. If you're doing 4 hours, you do 4 hours, right, Miss Marie? If you want to help them off duty and woman to woman, because maybe you have been there, you should. Humanity demands that you be there for someone that's going through the things you're going through. And maybe they're wanting to use this business. And maybe this is a topic we need to discuss in the future, Miss Marie, to give women who are going through those things, because they may be wanting to use this business as a way to develop an income to get out from underneath that situation, right? Yeah. And maybe we should talk about that. But here's the thing. You should be there for that person, okay? And I applaud you for it. Here's why. You want to do it after hours, because if it ever comes up in your downline, and if you sponsor a lot of women, chances are you will have somebody in your downline say, hey, can we talk in private real quick? And they may lay out, I've got this woman and this is what's going on. And if you've been there, you can say, hey, look, this is how I'm handling it. Yes. Tell them to stay focused on their business during them, but we're going to help them after hours. Would you not agree with that, Ms. Marie?
Oh, I totally would. You want to stay the course and follow the path you've charted out for your business, and the people who are going to join your business are going to follow along and come on to that path and follow that road with you. You don't want to veer off into the weeds, because it will not only distract you, but again, it's that whole concept of duplication. You'll start finding your downline veering off into the weeds and getting distracted as well. So you definitely want to follow the course and keep business and personal.
That's right. But they should reach out and help someone that's going through a tough time like that. And they should, but they should do it after hours.
Yeah, I totally agree, for sure.
Yeah, because look, Marie and I are very, we love people. So we don't want to see anybody suffer for any reason. And I mean that sincerely. But unfortunately, the life has taught us that mixing the two can be, especially in this business model, can be a really bad situation for everybody involved. Okay. And that is such an emotional thing for anybody to go through, much less discuss, and it can get you off track in a hurry. So you're not being inhuman, you're not being insensitive by keeping business and the social after hours, okay? Because the person that's going through that, if you tell them, they'll get that and say, look, I really want to help you, but we got to do this after hours, because I cannot afford to take my eyes off of the in game here, or whatever term you want to use. And they will get that, because here's what you would say. You say, look, are you not building this business so that you can have an income that you and your kids can depend on if you leave? Yes, I am. Okay, then I've got to do it and set the example, right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to be there. We'll talk this afternoon or this evening. You tell me when's a good time to call, and we will talk, and I'll be there for you. I'll help you in any way I can. And guys, think about it. If you stay focused and build the business that you say you're going to build, and you develop a real nice income, you might be in a position where you can financially help that person get out of that home and into a safe environment. How wonderful would that be, right? Wouldn't you agree, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. Like we always say, having the level of income you're after provides you with more options.
More options.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's the reason why you want to stay focused, and you want to develop your business as quick as possible. Why? Because you want to have the ability to have options in your life. If something like that comes up, think of how good you would feel if you were in a position where you could help them and not hurt your family. Think about the satisfaction and the gratitude you could have going to bed at night knowing that you helped your fellow human being get out of a bad situation. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, I think we pretty much covered everything. What do you think?
I think so. I was going to say it's to summarize the working with porcupines, recognize that there are the prickly people out there. Some people become prickly because of circumstances that they're in. Have that predetermined set of rules that you apply to everyone. Keep focused on your business and give yourself permission to walk away and let those people go that aren't benefiting you and your business or themselves. You just have to let them do their thing.
That's right. There you go. Okay. Well, with that being said, once again, don't forget you can go to our website, TheMLM-solution.net, to get your free gifts, one ebook, one video, one audio, each one of those packages. We've talked about the power of those. Since they're free, why not download all three? They come with a lot of bonuses in addition to the content. You do not want to miss out on the bonuses as well. A great combination there that you will not get anyplace else. As you know, we talk about things you can't learn anyplace else, and it's all right here in front of you in these physical packages at TheMLM-solution.net. And once again, our Black Friday, don't forget about that. Our Black Friday is something that we are very proud of. We bring to the table a combination here that you will not find anyplace else, TheMLM-solution.net/Super Friday. If you go to the main page, TheMLM-solution.net, you will see a link and also an image there that you can click on, and a button, if I'm not mistaken. You can click on, will take you to that page, and you can purchase that regularly $99.95, now on sale for $49.95. You can't beat that. 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. If you don't feel the package is worth it or what we say it is, it covers everything. And then once again, this package is for those people who are new at the industry, who are looking at joining the industry and want to know how it works and what it's going to take, and for retreads, people that have been in it before and coming back. And finally, for those that are stuck and don't know what to do next and have no help or guidance, you're going to get it right here. Great deal. Do not miss out. It is a limited offer, as you'll see when you get there, but the sale will be going on between now and the end of the year. And Miss Marie, with that being said, I'm going to real quick close out on, if you will, guys, when you go to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, other social media platforms, please share, like, and comment on those various social media platforms. If you're on our YouTube channel, as you know, you have to hit the little bell twice to get notified when we go live, as well as upload new content. You don't want to miss out on this valuable content. We are growing at a steady rate, not a real great rate, but we know those days are coming. But we are definitely making progress, and we're very flattered and honored by that. Thank all of you in advance for doing that. We really appreciate it. We're getting a lot of thumbs up, Miss Marie, especially on the YouTube channel. We're really grateful for that. People are listening to it, Miss Marie. If they miss the live broadcast, they're going to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and they're watching these episodes and giving us the thumbs up and commenting. So we are getting a lot of activity, and thank all of you guys. I'm still waiting for the dancing bears. I really look forward to that. And our podcasts continue to be stellar. We're so grateful for that too. Our podcasts will continue to be off the charts. I would say, Miss Marie, that we're probably one of the most popular podcasts, network marketing podcast around. I would venture to say that it would be hard pressed, and we're going to continue to expand that reach of our podcast. We're going to hire a professional very soon, where they will focus solely on the podcasts, the mini platforms, which will spread our presence even further. Since we're just two people right now, our time is limited. But once again, our podcasts are doing fantastic. So with that being said, Miss Marie, I think it's time to call it a day and tell everybody we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. And tomorrow's topic is going to be another good one. It is this, the elf on the shelf. Tomorrow's subject at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the elf on the shelf. If you don't know what we mean, join us as we tell you what this elf on the shelf means for you and your business. With that being said, we're going to hop off of here. God bless everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.